Well, now she brought up the ring. She said she owned it under the law and said that rings are gifts and that I cannot take it back. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, gonna go over a story entitled Ex-Girlfriend Wants the Engagement Ring I Never Gave Her Because She Broke Up With Me Before I Could Propose. She Gets Arrested for Her Troubles. And guys, this is definitely a very entertaining one. You're gonna get a good kick out of this, so watch this to the end. This is about a guy. He dated this girl for about 2 years. At the time, he thought everything was going great, as they always say. So much so that he decided he was going to propose to her. Bought her the ring and all that, and then one day out of the blue, she broke up with him. And he then found out that really behind the scenes, he was just a guy to kind of keep her amused while she was probably looking for somebody better. She really didn't give a crap about him. He hit him hard, but he moved on. And then eventually events would lead to the fact that she finds out that he actually had that ring, and she felt entitled to that ring even though he actually never gave it to her. And at least in this entire shitstorm, that's the best way to describe it, with the police and her getting arrested and all that, and you're going to see here, I don't want to reveal everything. Definitely a funny one to show you how mental some people are in this world, and to be careful, of course, for your relationship guys and your screening process with the ladies. And by the way, this article, apparently this story's older. This was sent over to me by a guy. I forgot to write your name down, bro. I apologize, but you know who you are, and thank you for sending me it. But it's an older one. Maybe you guys heard this, but I thought it'd be a good one to cover nonetheless. I never covered this one before. So it says here, a while back, I was dating a girl for roughly 2 years. I thought things were going great, but apparently she was just dating me because she liked to tell people she was in a relationship. Translation, a girl that can't be alone. A lot of them out there, and was just using him until she found the better option. No, that's how it went with her. The way she described me was too immature, decent in bed, and honestly not worth the rest of my life. Ouch. Exact words that she said to a friend of hers after we broke up. Anywho, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I went out and bought a ring and had this entire thing planned out to propose to her. However, she was suddenly not available for several weeks in a row. Well, that's a red flag if your girlfriend's suddenly not available for weeks in a row. Well, my fears rang true as she suddenly showed up at my place one day. She acted like everything was normal as we talked, and she was grabbing everything that was hers. About halfway through, I just kind of looked at her and said, "Don't forget your hair dryer. It would be awkward to have to come back over after you dump me." This sparked a long and awkward conversation where she was fake crying. I realized right then and there that I was an idiot. Fake crying, huh? Well, newsflash, the vast majority of the time it is, in fact, fake crying. The way she acted, the way she spoke, and the way she treated me just screamed that she did not care. I was devastated, but seeing her made me angry. I had realized she was lying to me this entire time. And that really sucks, but you know what? At least he did this before giving her a ring, because you know darn well she would have kept it. At least he did this before maybe marrying her. Like she thought, well, I'll marry him because I'm getting close to 30, and then, well, it doesn't work out. The courts are on my side. I'll find somebody better because I'm so amazing. About a month later, a friend of hers called me up, asked if she could come over to talk. I asked why, and she said my ex pissed her off and she wanted to tell me some things. I smell trouble. My mind goes to horrifying things like she needs to warn me that I need to see a doctor or things like that. Well, her friend came over and we chatted for a while. You see, her friend was beyond pissed off, ending the relationship, pissed off at her. So, her way to get back at her friend was to sleep with her ex-boyfriend. Me being in my mental state, I said yes. More like I said, huh? Sure, we can go ahead and do that if you really want to. So, this girl, now, yes, it sounds like his ex is an a-hole, but then again, birds of a feather flock together, and this girl, his former girlfriend's BFF, is pissed off at her, so the way to get back at her, I'm going to go reach out to her ex-boyfriend and hook up with him. This makes me think of the Al Bundy saying, don't try to understand women understand women, and they hate each other. Now, if I'm looking at this situation, this guy's like, I get to nail my ex-girlfriend, who obviously was awful to me and left me heartbroken's best friend, to get back at her. Gee, what to do? But looking at this for me as a almost 45-year-old, I would be like, you know what? Yeah, she's hot, but you know what? It ain't worth it, because it's going to bring a whole bunch of drama into my life, and probably a gal does this often. I don't want to catch anything. But when you're young, and it's some easy ass, and she's hot, it continues. So she ends up staying over for a few days as we get to talking about my ex. I tell her about the ring that she had, and she had the best idea to get back at my ex. Let's lay down in bed and post a picture of ourselves with the ring in between us. Yeah, let's post it. Translation, let's put it up on the internet, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, because nothing's real unless you post it online, right? Yeah, I thought it was a terrible idea, but I wanted my ex to feel like crap. So, well, there you go. Not even 2 hours later, my ex was at my door. We posted the picture at like 11 o'clock in the morning, and she was at my place at 12:40 or something. Could have called that one. Right off the bat, she tried to act like breaking up with me was my mistake. She said that I was the best boyfriend she ever had, and she was getting scared with how serious things were getting. She said she made a terrible mistake in breaking up with me. What a load of crap. Well, her friend immediately goes into a rant about my ex, saying that she was manipulative and that neither of us would believe the sob story that she was giving. Gotta say, I'm very glad her friend was there, because my stupid ass was believing my ex. Smack. I reminded her how she treated me when she broke up, and then she should go home. She was wasting her time. Well, now she brought up the ring. She said that she owed it under the law, owned it under the law, said that rings are gifts and that I cannot take it back. Hang on here. He never even gave it to you. And it doesn't make a difference. And owned under the law, would you watch some movies and you all of a sudden are an armchair lawyer or whatever, a couch lawyer, whatever the hell you call it? In unison, me and her friend said that I never gave it to her. We both looked at each other and laughed a bit as the absurdity of the situation was getting outrageous. She raced all the way over there, not about them, but because of that ring, to get a hold of it, and probably no doubt thinking, oh, I can sell it and get some cash out of this. She said she was owed that ring and that she was not leaving without it. Oh, okay, well, fine. You don't leave now, and I'm going to call the police, and they'll drag your crazy ass out of here in 20 minutes when they arrive. At about this time, a police officer came up the stairs, wanting to know what the trouble was. I guess he made enough noise that the neighbors called the police. This should be good. The female officer asked what the situation was. Everyone tried to talk at once, and the officer shut us down. Pointed to my ex and asked her what the problem was. She said she was trying to pick up her stuff after we broke up. And she's saying this to a female cop. She asked me if it was true. I explained the situation, how my ex broke up with me before I had the chance to propose, and she was never given the ring. Throughout the conversation, 2 more police officers showed up. One, it was a supervisor. The whole story was explained like 4 different times. It's always funny when you have lots of police show up to unimportant events, but then a major shitstorm is going down and there are no cops to be seen. Here's an example. And by the way, I'm very supportive of the police before anybody starts knocking me there. At one point, my ex said that the money from the ring will let her pay off her car. Hear the sirens? Here come the police. This is what I get for opening my mouth. The money from the ring to pay off her car, well, there you go. Ever see a moment when somebody says something so outrageous that everyone looks at them in utter disgust? I responded with that the ring isn't expensive. It was used off of a website, and I reminded her that I'm an IT tech. So this wasn't a ring that was $10,000 to $12,000, more like $1,000 to $1,500. Oh, that's going to set her off. You bought me a cheap ring? The anger and rage that came over her face was immediately apparent to everyone. She stepped forward and punched me in the chest and kicked at me before being tackled to the ground by the female police officer. I would be like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for putting this moron in front of me who's going to punch me and kick me in front of not 1 but 3 police officers Oh, thank you for the gift that keeps on giving. Your ass is getting arrested. The supervisor on scene told us to go inside while they had her under control. We did, and about 10 minutes later they came back. They wanted my statement. I told them I didn't want to press charges against her. Smack. What the hell's wrong with you? But they said, yeah, it doesn't work like that. We saw it, so it's being processed. She ended up getting a misdemeanor offense for it. The end. So guys, there you go. Very entertaining one on the crazy. So once again, for all you relationship guys, be aware, do some serious screening before a girl becomes your girlfriend. And also the fact that, know that a lot of them will just string you along until they can find somebody better. But also, look at this nut. She felt entitled to that ring. She wanted that ring so she could just sell it off and get a bunch of money, hopefully to pay for her car. But a lot of times, engagement rings, you think a car loses its value when a new car after you drive it off the lot. Well, I know engagement rings really tank in value. She wouldn't get shit from a pawn shop for that. She'd get something, but she thought it was this $10,000 ring and I could sell it and pay off my car. That's all she cared about. She didn't care that her friend was hooking up with her ex. She wanted that damn ring. And look what all the drama and the sense of entitlement there. God almighty. Now, real quick, some comments here before I wrap this up. This guy says, he's quoting her, she said owed it under the law that the rings are gifts and that I cannot take it back. That is hilarious. Number one, you never got engaged. Number two, you never gave her the ring. Number three, and most importantly, even if you had given her the ring and she broke up with you legally, she would have to return it. An engagement ring is given as a token and promise of marriage. If the marriage does not happen, she has to return the ring anyway. You dodged a greedy bullet there. Damn right. Can you imagine if he married her? Now, a lot of gals think that the wedding ring is a gift. Therefore, they get to keep it no matter what. I call bullshit, engagement ring. That's bullshit. That is on the basis that you will accept his proposal and you will indeed get married. But if it doesn't work out, whether she says no right then and there or she accepts it, but 6 months later, whatever reason, they're not going to get married, she should give that back because it's on the basis. It's not you get to keep it. That's bullshit. And even if it doesn't have a whole lot of value afterwards, it doesn't matter. Another guy says here, she saw a picture of a cheap-ass ring and thought you spent a car's down payment on it. And she did not see her best friend half naked and stinking of SEX next to you. Holy crap, bro, the bullet you dodged there. Yeah. Another one says here, and this is honestly what I've been thinking all along. Everyone in this story is either an a-hole or an idiot. I'm hearing literal clown music in OP's description of his own thought process. I'd say he was being led around by his you-know-what if he didn't already know most penises are at least a little more self-aware. They'll lead you into filth, but be thrilled and fully aware they're doing so. As near as I can figure, he took his needle out of the track at the moment he was offered hoo-ha. Have some dignity, at least get effing surf and turf dinner. The friend, who was all like, I'm going to F a dude just to make someone else annoyed, and never mind what emotional effect it has on anyone else because I'll at least feel like a badass, and added on, ooh, maybe if I don't grind it in their face like a total asswipe, they might miss it, so let's take a picture. Yeah, everybody in this story are a bunch of freaking morons. The guy is the least moronic of the group, but even still, obviously they're all young. It's absolute human garbage, and OP should be disgusted he or his you-know-what ever accepted contact with them. And the idiot who banged up the cops expecting she'd get a fancy ring because reasons is just stupid. She's just a stupid woman. But I'd rather be stupid than evil or weak. Anyhow, there you go, guys. That'll be a pretty funny one to go over here, but you can't make this shit up. Alright guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below what you think about this. Let me know what you think. If you guys have any crazy situations with former fiancés and rings, engagement rings, them feeling entitled to the ring, any drama you ever have with that, let's hear about it in the comment section. And also guys, you got a good story you'd like to share, by all means email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I definitely will when I get a chance. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.